So, hello everyone, good evening to all. Just confirm me once in the chat box that my voice is audible so that we can start our discussion. Okay. So, today we'll discuss something unique, something interesting. In next 4 days, and we'll discuss multiple things related to GST. Okay, this is our refresher course. We'll discuss the basics as well as the advanced level, the key matters of GST in certain Q&A format. Okay, so I suppose this will be the India's first course in which we'll discuss the law with question and answers. Okay, because the biggest problem is that मैंने लॉ सीख लिया, I know the section, I know the provision, I know the rules, but how I can apply the same in my day-to-day situation in my practical life while doing the practice or while handling the GST audit or assessment, that is the biggest problem. Okay, so to provide a solution, we have this particular mechanism, and in this particular course we'll discuss the complete law. Okay, we'll try to discuss the complete law or the relevant provisions or the important provisions in the segment of question and answers with the provision of law. Okay, so I suppose this will be very much helpful for the professional as well as the GST officers and the authorities. Okay, so let's start our discussion. So जैसा मेरे हर सेशन में होता है, the mode of communication will be Hindi and English both. If you have any concern, in that case just comment me in the chat box so that I can convert the example into Hindi or English as per your comfort zone. Second, the mode of communication done. Sir, the session should be interactive. If you have any question, any doubt, you are free to raise the question in the chat box. Also, you have received the WhatsApp number, so you may raise your question on that WhatsApp number. I suppose in next 4 to 5 days आप लोगों के दिमाग में जीएसटी से रिलेटेड जितने भी क्वेश्चंस है, जितने भी डाउट्स है, I suppose that should be resolved. Okay, I suppose my sound is audible for everyone. And if possible, just keep one pen and paper with you so that we are going to discuss on multiple question and answers. Okay, so if possible for you, Jen, just take note of that. Okay, with this course you will also get one GST audit and assessment guide worth rupees 450 absolutely free. So that will be shared on your registered mail ID by tomorrow or by day after tomorrow. Okay, team is working on that, so you will receive it very soon. And one more important information, if possible for you, you may share the information related to this course with others. So without wasting a single second, let's start our discussion on the 53rd GST काउंसिल मीटिंग जो कि कल ही हुई है, और उसमें क्या कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट निकल करके आया है, जस्ट हम लोग एक बार गो थ्रू कर लेते हैं उससे, ताकि हमारा डिस्कशन विल बी फ्रूटफुल. देन विल टेक द क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स. इन आवर टुडेज सेशन विल कवर द टैक्सेबल इवेंट, दैट हाउ आई कैन डिसाइड द टैक्सेबिलिटी ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजेक्शन. बिफोर मूविंग on that particular subject, just discuss on 53rd GST council meeting in brief. The first point, which is very much relevant and very much important, and which is the need of trade and industry. Sir, if there will be any, or if there will any issue or litigation related to financial year 17-18 till financial year 19-20, and the matter covered under section number 73 of CGST Act, that means no fraud, no willful misstatement, no suppression of fact. In that case, government has announced one amnesty scheme, and through that amnesty scheme there is no requirement to pay any interest or penalty. You just need to pay tax, और जैसे ही आप टैक्स का फिगर पे कर दोगे, आपकी वो लाइबिलिटी, आपकी वो डिमांड वहां से वेव ऑफ हो जाएगी. सो दिस इज अ ग्रेटेस्ट स्टेप टेकन बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, दैट सर नाउ फॉर फाइनेंशियल ईयर 17-18 टिल 19-20 का कोई भी लिटिगेशन है तो सिर्फ टैक्स का पेमेंट करना है और यू विल बी फ्री फ्रॉम दैट. ओके, सो दिस इज अ ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर अस. Just use this opportunity. Second, sir, departmental authorities are issuing multiple notices. Departmental authorities are issuing multiple notices related to financial year 17-18 till 2021 related to the input tax credit की restrictions. वो बोलते थे सर आप 16/4 की टाइमलाइन के बाहर जाकर के इनपुट क्लेम कर रहे हो. So government has taken one initiative and they announced that related to 17-18 till the financial year 2021, any input tax credit which you have taken till 30th 11 2021, तो ये माना जाएगा कि वो सेक्शन 16(4) की टाइमलाइन के अंदर क्लेम की गई है। दैट मींस डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी उसे वहां पर रेस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं कर पाएगी। सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वेरी गुड इनिशिएटिव। नाउ if departmental authority has passed any order and on against that particular order, if the taxpayer is going to file a appeal before the appellant authority, और अगर appellant authority उस taxpayer के फेवर में वो ऑर्डर दे देता है, in that case departmental authority can go for the further appeal to the appellant tribunal और हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट। यहां पर गवर्नमेंट ने उसके ऊपर एक मॉनेटरी लिमिट लगा दी। सर इफ द मैटर इन्वॉल्व्स अमाउंट अप टू 20 lakh rupees, in that case departmental authority cannot file appeal to the appellant tribunal, or if the matter up to 1 crore rupees, in that case also the departmental authority is not able to file appeal before high court, or if the matter is up to 2 crore rupees, in that case departmental authority cannot file appeal before the supreme court। Okay, so 20 lakh, 1 crore and 2 crore, this is the good decision, but this will not be applicable for the taxpayer। taxpayer का मैटर अगर 20 लाख से कम भी है और वो अपीलेंट ट्रिब्यूनल के पास अपील फाइल करना चाहता है तो वो पर्सन फ्री होगा। सर 53rd जीएसटी काउंसिल से रिलेटेड अगर आप लोग कोई क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स चैट बॉक्स में डाल रहे हैं, विल टेक आफ्टर द डिस्कशन ऑन 53rd जीएसटी काउंसिल मीटिंग। नाउ if I want to file an appeal before the appellant authority, in that case there is a timeline 3 months from the date of communication of the order by the departmental authority। Okay, but if I want to file appeal to the appellant tribunal, in that case गवर्नमेंट ने बोला जो डेट है कमेंसमेंट की, उस पीरियड की कमेंस होने की, विल नोटिफाई। एंड देयर इज वन लॉजिक बिहाइंड दिस, बिकॉज अपीलेंट ट्रिब्यूनल अभी तक सेटअप नहीं हुए हैं। So government has announced that to file the appeal to the appellant tribunal, the date of commencement will be notified by us in future, जब वो पूरी तरह से establish हो जाएंगे। Fifth changes, which is also very much important, if there is balance exist in your electronic cash ledger and in that case you have filed your delayed return, okay, GSTR 1 आपने टाइम पे नहीं किया, GSTR 3 भी आपने फाइल नहीं किया, GSTR 3 भी आपने फाइल नहीं किया, in that case there will be no applicability of interest if the balances exist in your electronic cash ledger। credit ledger में है उससे उनको मतलब नहीं है। if the balance exists in your electronic cash ledger and you have filed the return delay, in that case no interest will be applicable। next, अगर कोई बंदा ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर के थ्रू अपना गुड्स सेल करता है, इफ समवन इज गोइंग टू सेल द गुड्स थ्रू द ई कॉमर्स ऑपरेटर प्लेटफॉर्म, इन दैट केस ई कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म operator is going to collect the TCS at the rate of 1%। now government has reduced this limit to 0.50%। okay, 0.25% for CGST, 0.25% for SGST। composition डीलर्स के लिए रिटर्न फाइल करने की जो एनुअल रिटर्न फाइल करने की जो ड्यू डेट है दैट इज 30th अप्रैल। नाउ गवर्नमेंट हैज मेक वन इंपॉर्टेंट चेंज और उस टाइमलाइन को 30th जून कर दिया गया है इन द सब्सिक्वेंट फाइनेंशियल ईयर। Government of India is also going to introduce one specific return, GSTR 1A। To file the GSTR 1, I have a timeline that I need to file that return till 11th of April or 13th of April in case of QRMP scheme। So government ने बोला अगर GSTR 1 फाइल करने के बाद if there will be any changes, because multiple time client is going to issue the invoice related to debit note, related to credit note, वो 3B में ऐड करता है, 1 में ऐड नहीं करता है, उसकी वजह से there will be difference between 3B and 1। Hence government is come up with this particular concept के साहब if there will be any difference or if there will be any invoice or debit note issued after 11th or you got that point after 11th, in that case we are going to issue a new return GSTR 1A। you can show the same in your GSTR 1A return and after that you need to reflect the same in your GSTR 3B return। so GSTR 1 फाइल करने के बाद आप उस पीरियड के अंदर उस रिटर्न में कुछ भी चेंजेस करना चाहते हो, आपके पास में एक नया रिटर्न आ गया है GSTR 1A। penalty relaxation, sir, in case of section number 73, if your case is covered under section number 73, in that case if you are going to make the payment of the taxes within 30 days from the notice, no penalty will be leviable। okay, and in case of section number 74, if payment has been made within 30 days, in that case penalty will be 25% of the tax। hence यहाँ पर गवर्नमेंट ने उस 30 डेज की टाइमलाइन को 60 डेज कर दिया गया है। अब आप लोग 60 डेज के अंदर भी पेमेंट करते हो तो सेक्शन 73 में नो पेनल्टी और सेक्शन 74 में पेनल्टी विल बी 25% ऑफ द टैक्स, वरना 50% लग जाती थी। एंड B2CS इनवॉइसेस जो अनरजिस्टर्ड को मैंने गुड सेल किया है, इन दैट केस इफ द वैल्यू इज मोर देन 2.5 crore rupees, in that case I need to reflect the same in my GSTR1 return separately, but now government has reduced that limit to 1 lakh rupees. If your invoice is 1 lakh or 1 lakh more to any unregistered person, in that case you have to issue a separate invoice in the GSTR1 return. Sir, these are the major changes proposed in 53rd GST Council meeting. If you have any question, any doubt, any point, then please put the same in the chat box. Or if everything is okay for you, then also just comment me in the chat box, okay? So that we can move to our next topic. यस चिराग जी, जिसने ऑलरेडी टैक्स और इंटरेस्ट का पेमेंट कर दिया है, इंटरेस्ट पेनल्टी का पेमेंट कर दिया है, उसके लिए मोस्ट प्रोबेबली गवर्नमेंट विल कम अप विद सर्टेन स्पेसिफिक नोटिफिकेशन. और वैसे हमारे टैक्सेशन के अंदर एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट चलता है कि साहब जिसने पेमेंट कर दिया वो यहाँ पर जो है परेशान हो जाता है इफ देयर विल बी एनी एमनेस्टी स्कीम. सो मोस्ट प्रोबेबली गवर्नमेंट विल कम अप विद सर्टेन मैकेनिज्म फॉर दैट एज वेल. अभी तक कोई मैकेनिज्म ऐसा अनाउंस नहीं किया है. 20 lakh rupees for CGST, SGST, both for total liability. If the demand is on account of assessment order, in that case, the same provision will be applicable. Yes, will provide you the complete notification chart as well. Okay. So अभी तो 53rd GST काउंसिल मीटिंग में उन्होंने ये डाला है, अभी नोटिफिकेशन इशू होने हैं, तो as soon as the same will be issued, we'll share you the chart as well. Okay, just communicate once over that WhatsApp number, or we'll try to create one separate WhatsApp group for this 5 days course so that you can communicate in that particular group as well. Yes, we'll share the reading material post this session. Okay, we'll share the reading material. Now we'll start our discussion. We'll start our discussion on the subject area, that is GST. हम लोगों ने discussion किया. There is no any amendment on the Tran 1. Okay. Our today's webinar or today's first day is free for all. This is also streamed on that YouTube platform as well. So if anyone wants to buy the complete course, that is 5 days course, in that case we'll share the link over that YouTube platform as well, so you can join. Okay, now let's start our discussion on the first thing, that is GST. Or the first question which is in my mind is that when GST will be applicable. Whenever there will be a particular supply, in that case GST will be applicable. Yes sir. Okay, so every day we'll discuss the basics from the advanced level. Just like today we'll cover the taxable event, tomorrow we'll cover the time of supply, next day we have value of supply, next day we have input tax credit, next day we have place of supply. So these are the 5 pillars of that GST. So we'll discuss on these 5 pillars in the next 5 days. Okay, बिकॉज इस क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर सेगमेंट में लेने का पर्पस भी एक छोटा सा ही था सर. प्रॉब्लम ये आ रही थी, जब भी मैं सेशन लेता था, जब भी मैं कोई सेशन लेता था, तो वहां पे एक क्वेश्चन आता था, हाउ वी कैन लर्न दैट पर्टिकुलर जीएसटी लॉ, हाउ वी कैन मेमोराइज दैट जीएसटी लॉ. हेंस वी हैव डेवलप्ड दिस स्पेसिफिक Q&A पर्टिकुलर सेशन. ओके, ऑल्सो वी हैव डिजाइन्ड वन बुक ऑन दिस Q&A सेगमेंट. ओके, कंप्लीट जीएसटी लॉ इन क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर्स. उसमें केवल ये 5 पिलर नहीं है, पूरा का पूरा जीएसटी लॉ हम लोगों ने डिफरेंट डिफरेंट Q&As के ऊपर बेस्ड उसमें कवर किया है. सूरज जी, if you have taken the registration, then there is no requirement to take any further registration. Okay, now we'll take the queries at the last. Okay, if you have any query related to subject, we'll take. Other queries we'll take at the end of the session. First we'll cover the content. Sir, if I need to make the payment of the taxes, or if I need to apply GST on a particular transaction, in that case the first and foremost requirement is that the same should be classified as supply. अगर वो सप्लाई नहीं है, then no GST will be applicable. Okay, so चाहे मैं डिपार्टमेंटल अथॉरिटी हूं, चाहे मैं टैक्स पेयर हूं, चाहे मैं टैक्स प्रोफेशनल हूं, the biggest problem is that client is providing us the data and we are filing the return. Okay, कभी हम लोगों ने शायद 60 to 70% peoples are not thinking about that particular para or about that particular area. Why? कभी हमने ये सोचा ही नहीं कि यार जो वो ट्रांजेक्शन भेज रहा है, जो वो सेल्स भेज रहा है, क्या सच में वो सप्लाई की डेफिनेशन में फॉल करती है या फिर नहीं करती है। हमारा फोकस होता है दैट वी नीड टू क्लेम द इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट फ्रॉम जीएसटीआर टू बी रिटर्न, टू बी स्टेटमेंट, वी नीड टू फाइल द जीएसटीआर 1 रिटर्न एंड द जीएसटीआर 3B and GSTR 1 should be reconciled. Sir, we are not here for the reconciliation. Okay, we are here for the resolution. Hence, we need to do something specific for our client. We need to provide certain extraordinary consultancy. Hence, this particular course is there. Now, first question. Sir, government has used one word in section number 7 of CGST Act. Supply includes. वो चाहती तो supply means भी use में कर सकती थी, but government has used the word supply includes. They use the word supply includes. What do you mean by this supply includes? उन्होंने means नहीं रखा, उन्होंने यहां पर supply includes रखा. What is the logic? Because they want the wider definition of this supply, because complete applicability of GST is completely based on this supply term. अगर वो यहां पर means कर देते, in that case the definition will be limited to the words which is provided in the definition. Now government use the words includes, और जैसे ही उसने यहां पर includes काम में लिया, now government has authority to add certain things, to add certain things in that particular definition, so that taxability can be on a wider term. That is what is the basic motive of government for typing the includes word instead of the means word. वरना होता कुछ नहीं, वो means भी type कर सकते थे. So we need to know the logic as well. So our first question, why has the government used the word includes instead of means while drafting the definition of term supply? So this is the biggest logic, that sir, government wants the wider definition for the particular taxability. Now, next question. After these all these questions, we'll discuss the provision as well. तो आपको पता चलेगा कि जो हमने क्वेश्चन में कवर किया था ना, as it is provision में लिखा हुआ है, so it will be very easy for you to understand the concept. What are the mandatory conditions to treat a particular transaction as supply? सर, कब मैं एक पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजेक्शन को सप्लाई मानूंगा? सपोज I have provided one specific mobile phone to सूरज जी, then this particular transaction will be treated as supply or not? क्योंकि अगर वो सप्लाई हो गया, in that case we need to talk on the taxability. क्या रेट लगेगी, क्या वैल्यू होगा, क्या प्लेस ऑफ सप्लाई होगा, क्या टाइम ऑफ सप्लाई होगा. सो फर्स्ट वी नीड टू डिसाइड दैट what do you mean by this particular word supply? Here supply means supply includes, or there are two monetary or mandatory conditions to become a particular transaction as supply. One is in the course or furtherance of business, and second for a consideration. These are the two basic conditions for treating a particular transaction as a supply. अगर मेरे पास जीएसटी नंबर नहीं है, आई एम नॉट डूइंग द बिजनेस एंड आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग अ मोबाइल फोन टू सूरज जी, इन दैट केस नो जीएसटी विल बी एप्लीकेबल, बिकॉज दिस ट्रांजेक्शन इज नॉट इन द कोर्स और फर्दरेंस ऑफ बिजनेस. चाहे मैं यहां पर कंसिडरेशन ले रहा हूं उनसे 1 लाख रुपीज, आई हैव चार्ज फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर मोबाइल फोन, बट द सेम विल नॉट बी ट्रीटेड एज सप्लाई बिकॉज this transaction is not in the course or furtherance of business. So the basic conditions to treat a particular transaction as a supply is your in the course or furtherance of business and for a consideration. जिस क्लाइंट की आप ऑडिट कर रहे हो, जिस टैक्स पेयर की आप ऑडिट कर रहे हो, इफ यू फाउंड सर्टेन ट्रांजैक्शंस जिसमें वो अपने बिजनेस के अंदर कोई प्रोडक्ट सेल कर रहा है, कोई प्रोडक्ट ऐसे ही सप्लाई कर रहा है विदाउट कंसिडरेशन, इन दैट केस वेदर जीएसटी विल बी एप्लीकेबल और नॉट. सो यू नीड टू बाइफरकेट द ट्रांजेक्शंस. इस पे ये इन द कोर्स और फर्दरेंस ऑफ बिजनेस है, यहां पर कंसिडरेशन है. देयर आर सर्टेन अदर ट्रांजेक्शंस, दीज आर नॉट इन द कोर्स और फर्दरेंस ऑफ बिजनेस. देयर आर सर्टेन अदर ट्रांजेक्शंस, these transactions are not for any consideration. So you need to bifurcate the transactions accordingly, and then after you need to determine the taxability so that your audit, your return filing, your 9 and 9C will be in a perfect way. So two conditions for the taxability: one is in the course or furtherance of business, second is for consideration to treat a particular transaction as a supply. Now कुछ चीजें हैं जो हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे जो कि स्पेसिफिक सिचुएशन है. जर्नल टर्म्स में इफ देयर विल बी एनी ट्रांजैक्शन फॉर अ कंसिडरेशन इन द कोर्स और फर्दरेंस ऑफ बिजनेस, इन दैट केस जीएसटी विल बी एप्लीकेबल. नाउ विल टेक सर्टेन different situations and will decide the taxability or will decide that this particular transaction will be treated as supply or not. First, will services provided by the society or the club to the members for a consideration be treated as supply or not? If there will be any services provided by the society club to its member, that will be for supply or not. Suppose I am a member of a particular society, okay, Jain Trade Association. Suppose I am a member of that particular society and I am paying 10,000 rupees to that particular society for availing certain services. In that case, question is that whether this particular transaction will be treated as supply or not, or that particular society has to charge GST or not. That is the question. So yes, GST will be applicable. Okay, if there will be any services provided by the society club to its members, in that case GST will be applicable on that particular transaction, because that member, that club, that society is providing that services to the members in the course or furtherance of business or for a consideration. So two basic conditions are satisfied, hence the same should be treated as supply. Okay, नाउ अभी आज के सेशन में हम लोग सिर्फ ये डिसाइड करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि अ पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजैक्शन इज सप्लाई और नॉट. In our further sessions we'll discuss वो supply है, then what will be the rate of GST, what will be the time of supply, what will be the place of supply, whether this particular transaction will be eligible for input tax credit or not. Okay, so these all are parameters. कई बार हम लोग हमारी माइंडसेट को बहुत रेस्ट्रिक्ट करके रखते हैं कि अगर जीएसटी के अंदर इनपुट मैं 2B के हिसाब से लेता हूं, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. Sir, there are a lot of issues on account of time of supply, on account of place of supply, on account of value of supply. We need to take care of all these aspects as well. Now, next question. Mr. Ramesh, this complete session will be based on multiple question and answers and practical situations. If Mr. Ramesh is taking services from Germany for a consideration for his personal use, will the same will be treated as supply or not? Suppose Ramesh is going to take the certain services from Germany, okay, for a consideration. Mr. Ramesh is paying amount for that particular services, but this particular service which is taken by the Ramesh is not used in the course or furtherance of business. So एक कंडीशन मेरी सेटिस्फाई हो गई, दैट इज कंसीडरेशन. बट सेकेंड कंडीशन मेरी यहां पर सेटिस्फाई नहीं हुई. सर माय वॉइस इज ओके फॉर एवरीवन? आई सपोज एट माय एंड एवरीथिंग इज फाइन. Okay, Surajji, please check at your end. I suppose everything is fine now. So the condition which is consideration is okay. Now second, in the course or furtherance of business नहीं है. ओके, बट यहां पर गवर्नमेंट ने एक स्पेसिफिक प्रोविजन डाल करके बोला. अभी मैं आपको कोई सेक्शन का रेफरेंस नहीं देने वाला हूं, ओके, बिकॉज द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट जैसे ही मैं सेक्शन का रेफरेंस देता हूं वो जो है प्रैक्टिकली क्लियर नहीं हो पाती है सिचुएशन. हेंस विल टेक द प्रैक्टिकल सिचुएशन ओनली आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ सेशन. विल शेयर विथ यू वन चार्ट, ओके, शोकेस ऑफ दिस सेक्शंस, सो दैट इट विल बी वेरी इजी फॉर यू उस चार्ट के थ्रू आपको सिचुएशंस को लिंक करने के लिए. यस हेमंत जी, जीएसटी में कहीं पर भी ऐसा नहीं लिखा हुआ है कि सर्विसेज इज फॉर प्रॉफिट. ओके, देयर इज नथिंग, देयर इज नो एनी लाइन रिलेटेड टू दिस पर्टिकुलर स्पेसिफिक थिंग कि भाई प्रॉफिट नहीं होगा तो आपको जीएसटी नहीं भरना है. लॉस भी होगा और ट्रांजैक्शन है तो यू नीड टू पे द जीएसटी. नाउ Mr. Ramesh is taking certain services from Germany for a consideration, but यहाँ पर in the course or furtherance of business नहीं है, फिर भी ये transaction taxable हो जाएगा. So in case of your client, in case of your assessee, in case of your auditee, if there will be a specific situation that person has taken certain services from outside India for a consideration, but that services is not in the course or furtherance of business, in that case also the same will be treated as import of services, and you need to ask for the payment of RCM under GST, reverse charge mechanism under GST. This is the motive of my fourth question, and this is a part of section number 7 of the CGST Act. Whenever there will be any services taken from outside India for a consideration not in the course or furtherance of business, then also this particular transaction will be treated as supply. So this is also our one number specific situation. Next, will activities or transactions undertaken by the central government, state government, or any local authority be treated as supply or not? So no, because any services, any activities, any transactions undertaken by the central government, state government, or local authority will be treated as neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Hence, no GST will be applicable, no question of GST, because the particular transaction will not be treated as supply. जब वो supply ही नहीं है, in that case, no question arises for the GST. Yes, Chirag ji, in is question number 4 में if there will be no any consideration, in that case the same will not be treated as supply, because जब मुझे import पे RCM लेना है, there is requirement of certain taxable value, तो उसके लिए मुझे यहाँ पर कुछ ना कुछ consideration चाहिए. If you have any question, if and but, just confirm in the chat box. Okay. Yes, Suresh ji, question number 3, any doubt? सोसाइटी क्लब मेंबर्स अगर कोई सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करवाता है अपने किसी मेंबर को, इन दैट केस दैट पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजैक्शन विल बी ट्रीटेड एज सप्लाई. अभी मैंने टैक्सेबिलिटी की बात ही नहीं की है. इन दिस सेशन विल ओनली डिस्कस अबाउट द सप्लाई, दैट दिस ट्रांजैक्शन विल बी ट्रीटेड एज सप्लाई और नॉट. ओके सर, थैंक यू. नाउ, does the government has power to prescribe a particular transaction as supply of goods or services? Yes, sir. Because section number 7, subsection 2 of CGST Act says that if there will be a particular transaction is a supply of goods, और government ने बोल दिया नहीं ये transaction supply of services है, in that case we need to treat that particular transaction as a supply of services. और अगर गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया नहीं ये पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजेक्शन इज अ सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विस, तो हमको उसको ट्रीट करना पड़ेगा कि ये सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विस है. So the authority will be in hand of government. So government has power to decide that a particular transaction is a supply of goods or supply of services. Okay. Hence, government has provided one specific list in schedule number 2 of CGST Act that, sir, these are the transactions will be treated as supply of goods. These are the transactions will be treated as supply of services. We'll also share the technique that how you can decide a particular transaction as a supply of goods and supply of services. यस हेमंत जी, इन क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 हाउ, तो उसके उसने जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन तो ले रखा है. मिस्टर अमेश हैज ऑलरेडी टेकन द जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन, बट द सर्विसेज टेकन इज नॉट रिलेटेड in the course or furtherance of business. Okay, suppose I am providing the training classes, okay, and I have already registered under GST. I am getting certain services from Germany related to the legal consultancy which is not related to my business. In that case RCM will be applicable. मुझे RCM पे करना पड़ेगा if I am going to pay a consideration. Is that okay? Now I suppose this is okay. और अगर मैंने कोई जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन ही नहीं ले रखा है और मैं इंपोर्ट ऑफ सर्विस कर रहा हूं, नो क्वेश्चन ऑफ एनी सप्लाई, क्योंकि मैं तो खुद ही रजिस्टर्ड ही नहीं हूं. इस तरह के डाउट्स को सॉल्व करने के लिए ही दिस इज द सेशन, दिस इज द कोर्स. मेसर्स राजेश इंडस्ट्रीज, आई सपोज, यस, वन क्वेश्चन. Mr. Palas has transferred his business to Mr. Shubham as a going concern without any consideration. Will this particular transaction will be treated as supply or not? So whenever a particular person is going to transfer the business to another person as a going concern, in that case, that particular transaction will not be treated as supply. No supply. सर, वन मोर रिक्वेस्ट फ्रॉम माय साइड. इन 5 दिनों में हम लोग जो भी सीखेंगे, जो भी पढ़ेंगे, इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन कि भैया इसका लॉजिक क्या है, लॉजिक बता दो, इन दैट केस प्लीज आस्क. ओके, whatever things we need to understand through the logic only. For these 5 days I am completely available for you. You may text me or WhatsApp, will provide you the reply. You may call me after taking time from my team, okay, so that we may discuss on your question and answers. Our purpose is to provide the basic clarity about this GST law. Now, if someone is going to transfer the business to another as a going concern, in that case the transaction will not be treated as supply. Why government ने ऐसा क्यों बोला कि भाई उसके ऊपर जीएसटी लगेगा? क्या लॉजिक रहा होगा? Because when particular person is going to transfer the business to another person as a going concern, in that case we know, अगर मिस्टर पलास टैक्स का पेमेंट नहीं कर रहा है और मिस्टर पलास सारा का सारा गुड्स ट्रांसफर कर रहा है, एंड नेक्स्ट मिस्टर शुभम इज गोइंग टू सेल द सेम इन द मार्केट, इन दैट केस गवर्नमेंट को टैक्सेबिलिटी आती रहेगी, बिजनेस कंटिन्यूटी रहेगा. Hence there is a specific provision that no no supply, this particular transaction will not be treated as supply. यहाँ पर बार्टर नहीं है चिराग जी, देर इज नो एनी बार्टर सिस्टम। मिस्टर पलास इज गोइंग टू ट्रांसफर द बिजनेस गोइंग कंसर्न विदाउट एनी कंसिडरेशन। सपोज मेरा कोई बिजनेस है, जमा जमा ट्रेनिंग शेड्यूल है, ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल है, आई एम गोइंग टू ट्रांसफर द सेम टू यू without any consideration. In that case, you will continue that particular business, you will hire the particular speakers and you will sell the courses so that government will get the revenue. So मेरे को कुछ भी नहीं मिला उसके बदले में। सपोज मेरा संन्यास लेने का मन हो गया, मैंने बोला यार चिराग जी मेरा हर सेशन अटेंड करते थे, सो माय कंप्लीट सेटअप विल बी प्रोवाइडेड टू मिस्टर चिराग। सो इन दैट केस मैंने वो एज अ गोइंग कंसर्न दे दिया, तो वहां पर वो ट्रांजेक्शन सप्लाई नहीं होगा, बिकॉज गवर्नमेंट इज गोइंग टू गेट रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम मिस्टर चिराग। गवर्नमेंट को तो रेवेन्यू से मतलब है, चाहे सचिन दे चाहे चिराग दे, उनको क्या फर्क पड़ता है। ओके, दैट इज द पॉइंट, दैट इज द लॉजिक। मैं कुछ एग्जांपल भी शेयर कर रहा हूँ, लॉजिक से रिलेटेड है, आप डायरेक्ट उसको लॉ से रिलेट मत कर देना, है ना। Yes, if you will get any software from outside India, okay, or music for consideration, in that case the same will be treated as supply, okay, and GST will be applicable because the same will be covered under import of service. और आपको पता होगा सॉफ्टवेयर का जब तक मेरे पास में कुछ फिजिकल फॉर्म में नहीं आता, that will be treated as service only. Next, question number 8. Messrs. Rajesh Industries had transferred its packing unit to Messrs. Bharat Industries without any consideration. Will this transaction be treated as supply or not? This is question from my side to all of you. बताइए, this particular transaction will be treated as supply or not? Yes, Sureshji, but the problem is that that should be not for a consideration. If there will be involvement of any consideration, GST will be applicable. नहीं रविंद्र जी, आप ये लॉजिक मत ले लेना कि नो कंसिडरेशन देन नो जीएसटी। ओके, दीज आर सर्टन स्पेसिफिक सिचुएशंस जिसमें जीएसटी नहीं लगता है, वरना गवर्नमेंट ने शेड्यूल 1 ऑफ सी जीएसटी एक्ट इश्यू करके बोला है कि दीज आर द ट्रांजेक्शंस ऑन विच सप्लाई कंसिडरेशन है या फिर नहीं भी है, फिर भी दैट पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजेक्शन विल बी ट्रीटेड एज सप्लाई। ओके, सो मैं आपको खाली अभी केस स्टडीज बता रहा हूं। when you will go through with that schedule number 1, schedule number 2, schedule number 3, you will feel that all the things have already been covered through the question and answers. So yes, this particular transaction will not be treated as supply. Sir, the logic, because मैं जो भी बात करूंगा इस सेशन में, these all things are related to logics only. So what is the logic? Because when I am supplying my one specific individual unit to some other person, मैं पैकिंग नहीं कर रहा हूं, मेरा नेक्स्ट बंदा जो है उसकी पैकिंग करेगा, दैट मींस गवर्नमेंट विल गेट द रेवेन्यू, देयर विल बी एनी नो लॉस टू द गवर्नमेंट। ओके, हेंस द सेम विल नॉट बी ट्रीटेड एज सप्लाई। The same principle will be applicable as we have covered in case of whole business transfer, or if you are going to transfer a individual unit, in that case also GST will not be applicable. That means the transaction will not be treated as supply. Question number 8 done. Question number 9. Mr. Raju has disposed of his machinery without consideration. Will this particular transaction will be treated as supply or not? Sir, please provide your answer. Yes or no? अब उसने मशीनरी डिस्पोज ऑफ कर दी, जला दी, नष्ट कर दी, और किसी को दे दी फ्री में, लेके जा भाई ये मशीनरी लेके जाओ यहां से। वेदर जीएसटी विल बी एप्लीकेबल और नॉट? यस, जीएसटी विल बी एप्लीकेबल। Yes, GST will be applicable because, sir, whenever there will be any dispose of, in that case, as per schedule number 1 of CGST Act, that particular transaction will be treated as supply and GST will be applicable. Now, your question is that, sir, उसने dispose of कर दी. Now, how government will calculate the value? किसके ऊपर GST लगाएगा? भाई मैंने लेके जाके उसको कबाड़ी में दे दी फ्री में. In that case, what will be the value on which government is going to charge the GST? So the point is that in that case, the value will be decided as per valuation rules. We have specific valuation rules. Rule number 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So the valuation should be decided as per various valuation rules. So in case of dispose of any assets, यहाँ पर उससे गवर्नमेंट को मशीनरी से फर्दर कोई रेवेन्यू जनरेट नहीं होने वाला है। ओके, इसलिए गवर्नमेंट ने यहां पर बोला अब आप जाकर के डिस्पोज ऑफ करोगे, यू नीड टू पे द जीएसटी, एंड वैल्यू हमको पता है कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है। ओके, सो दिस इज माय क्वेश्चन नंबर 9। Question number 10. Mr. Bhomesh has transferred his business assets to Mr. Rishabh on a slum sale basis. That means overall assets. जब भी मैं बात कर रहा हूं slum sale की, slum sale means that will be transferred completely. Okay, whole एक पूरा अमाउंट उसके पास में आ गया और वो ट्रांसफर कर दिया. In that case, whether GST will be applicable or not, that means the particular transaction will be treated as supply or not. So yes, that transaction will not be treated as supply in case of slum sale basis, because जो बंदा खरीद रहा है वो वापस फर्दर उस बिजनेस को कंटिन्यू करेगा. So government will get the revenue. Hence, Hemant ji, this particular transaction will not be treated as supply. Shruti ji, whenever there is a transfer, whenever there is a particular transaction, transfer of a particular unit, in that case someone else is going to continue that business. Hence government says that particular transaction will not be treated as supply. There is no any concept of exempt supply. This is a specific exception of schedule number 1 of CGST Act. So we have covered 10 questions. Yes, Hemanji, the going concern will be applicable. Relationship, Sureshji will discuss the same while our discussion on section number 15, that is valuation. We'll discuss the relationship buyer and supplier and all those things will cover. So we have covered 10 questions. If you have any question, any doubt, then please put the same in the chat box. And if no question is there, then please put the same in chat box that all questions are okay for you. Sir, are you enjoying the session? Sir, we'll cover the lease as well. Sir, question number 8 में, सूरज जी, question number 8 में, that person is going to transfer the complete packing unit to someone else. Suppose I am going to transfer the packing unit to you. आप उस business को continue करोगे, जो भी आपका consideration होगा, you will pay the consideration to the government. You will pay the GST on that consideration. But in case of dispose of a particular machinery, who will pay the consideration to government, or who will pay the GST on that consideration? In that case, hence government ने बोला हम वहां पर deemed consideration लेंगे और GST applicable करेंगे. I suppose, Suraj ji, this example is okay for you. Now, question number 11. Messrs. Batu Consultancy has one branch in Tirur. Will both these entities will be treated as distinct person or not? So what do you mean by this distinct person? So here, whenever there will be a particular transaction, in case PAN number is same, but GSTN is different, and if there will be transaction in between both these entities, then the same will be treated as distinct person. Suppose Batu Consultancy, PAN number is same, but that person has opened one branch at Tripur, Coimbatore. In that case, that person will take the another GST number. PAN number is same, the same for Batu Consultancy, but GST number is for Rajasthan unit is separate and for Tripur unit is separate. In that case, both these entities will be treated as distinct person. And if Rajasthan branch or Rajasthan office is going to sell any goods or services to Tripur, in that case GST will be applicable, because both these parties will be treated as distinct person, and the valuation should be decided as per various valuation rules. We'll discuss on the valuation rules through the example at the time of our discussion on valuation. But the question is that when Batu Consultancy has opened one new branch at Tripur and supplied certain goods, in that case both these will be treated as distinct person and GST will be applicable for the transactions. Yes, Hemanji, there is no any concept of your WDV and the market value, all those things. Okay, GST will be applicable. Yes, cross charge will be applicable in that specific situation. We'll discuss on the valuation part of cross charge mechanism at the time of our discussion on section number 15. related question and answers. Okay, we'll not discuss any question and answer, that is any sections. We'll discuss the Q&A only. Next, Messrs. Jaykumar Jain and Company, JKJ and Company has provided. यस सर, इनकम टैक्स के लिए सेपरेट प्रोविजन है, जीएसटी के लिए सेपरेट प्रोविजन है. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू मेक एनी सप्लाई टू योर ब्रांच, जीएसटी विल बी एप्लीकेबल इन केस ऑफ इंटरेस्टेड सप्लाई. ओके, बिकॉज द सेम विल बी ट्रीटेड एज डिस्टिंक्ट पर्सन. जीएसटी नंबर इज डिफरेंट, पेन नंबर इज सेम. Section number 25 of CGST Act, you need to refer. Messrs. JK Jain and Company has provided gift to one of its employee, Mr. Abhishek, amounting to rupees 80,000. Will this transaction be treated as supply? Sir, Surajji, if the gift value is 250 lakh rupees, then the same will not be treated as supply. But if the value is more than 50,000 rupees, in that case, the same will be treated as supply. क्योंकि 50,000 तक उन्होंने वहां पर एग्जेम्पशन दी है, उसके बाद में उन्होंने एग्जेम्पशन नहीं लिखी है. Hence the same will be treated as supply. That is what is the logic. कई बार हम लोग क्या करते हैं, we are going to do the audit of a particular person or we are handling the account, that is GST work of a particular person, और वहां पर वो कोई भी गिफ्ट बुक करता जाता है, हम लोग बोलते हैं गिफ्ट पे नो जीएसटी, नो जीएसटी, नो जीएसटी. But we need to check the quantum of the gift. Sir, this is in the course or furtherance of business because Mr. Abhishek is going to provide the services to Messrs. JK Jain and Company related to employee-employer relationship. Hence, the particular transaction will be treated as supply. If the value is more than 50,000, government has announced an exemption up to 50,000 rupees. Shruti ji, in case of sale of machinery, GST will be applicable on the taxable value. Okay. No gain or loss. Car के case में, if you will sell any car, in that case you need to pay the GST on margin money only. But in case of plant and machinery, GST will be applicable on taxable value. Next scenario. Mr. Vishal, an employee of Messrs. JK Jain and Company, has provided consultancy services to Mr. Abhishek, an employee of Messrs. Batu Consultancy. Will this particular transaction be termed as supply or not? If I am going to provide any services to my company as an employee-employer relationship, in that case, no GST will be applicable. Okay. But I am an employee of, suppose, Messrs. JK Jain and Company, and one X person is an employee of Messrs. Batu Consultancy, और वो दोनों employee आपस में कोई services provide करवा रहे हैं. In that case, there is no any relationship of employer and employee. Okay. Hence, the GST will be applicable when one entity का employee and another entity का employee will provide the services to each other. Employee के बीच में transaction है, hence the same will be treated as supply and GST will be applicable. Now, question number 14. Messrs. Taco Holding GmbH, a foreign-based company, has a branch office in India, but that branch does not provide any consultancy. But the branch does not provide any consultancy or services in India. It receives only salary and reimbursement expense from its head's office. In this situation, is the branch office liable to take the GST registration? That person has to take the GST registration because that branch is not providing any services in the market. That person is just handling the back office in India. Okay. They are not capturing any transaction. They are not capturing any sales. So, हेमंत जी कुछ चीजें छोड़े, 50,000 और 50,000 के बाहर 80,000 विल डिस्कस एट द टाइम ऑफ अवर वैल्यूएशन रिलेटेड डिस्कशन. ओके, कई सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं, हम लोग वहां पर कवर करेंगे वैल्यूएशन से रिलेटेड. नाउ विल जस्ट डिसाइड दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजैक्शन इज ट्रीटेड एज सप्लाई और नॉट. ओके, तो स्टेप बाय स्टेप सीखेंगे तो शायद हमको ज्यादा मजा आएगा. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 14. फॉरेन की कंपनी है, उसने कोई ब्रांच ऑफिस यहां पर ओपन किया. दैट पर्सन इज नॉट कैप्चर एनी क्लाइंट, दैट पर्सन इज नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग एनी सर्विसेज, जस्ट गेटिंग द सैलरी एंड रिम्बर्समेंट फ्रॉम द फॉरेन बेस्ड कंपनी. इन दिस केस दैट ब्रांच ऑफिस हैज no requirement to take any registration. No registration required because that person is not providing any services in India. So no registration is required in India. Question number 14 done. Question number 15. Messrs. Indigo Airlines transfer aircraft engine part and accessories to its branch in Rajasthan. Will GST be applicable? So Delhi से राजस्थान में कोई goods transfer कर रहा है. In that case, the same will be treated as distinct person. So GST will be applicable because abhi hum logon ne discuss kiya hai, if there will be same PAN number, different GSTN, in that case the same will be treated as distinct person, or whenever there is a concept of distinct person, GST will be applicable. So for this particular question number 15, GST will be applicable. Next question number 16, ITC. Will ITC be allowed on the free samples? Yes, sir. ITC will be allowed on the free samples. Yes or not? Ravindran, that branch office is not providing any services in India. Okay. Or this is just a subsidiary, or that is just a branch office, that is back office of an HO based company, and they are just getting salary. They are not providing any, they are not getting any, they are not issuing any invoice. I can say they are not going to issue any invoice. They are just going to get the salary. On salary part, there will be no any applicability of GST. We all know. And reimbursement is the payment as a pure agent. Okay, so no GST will be applicable. That is what is the logic. Salary and reimbursement, two expense are only there, and salary ke case mein no GST will be there because no GST is applicable on that particular salary part, and reimbursement they are paying as a pure agent. I suppose now this logic is clear for you. Now, free samples. In case of free samples, no ITC will be allowed. Sir, what is the logic? Why ITC is not allowed on that free sample? Can you please explain in one line in chat box? Okay. We'll also try on our last day, we'll provide you an opportunity to open your mic and ask the question and answers. अभी हम लोगों को ये इसलिए नहीं करना है क्योंकि कई सारे वॉइस रिलेटेड इश्यूज हो जाएंगे, नॉइस हो जाएगी, तो जो कॉन्सेप्ट हम लोग डिस्कस करना चाह रहे हैं वो नहीं हो पाएगा. Will ITC be allowed on free samples? No. But what is the logic? Yes, Emanji, no payment of taxes, no ITC, because there is one specific mechanism that if I'm paying the output tax, only in that scenario, I will be eligible to claim the input tax credit. If I'm not going to make any payment to the government, government will not entertain any input tax credit to me. Will fringe benefits provided to employees be treated as a supply? So these fringe benefits are provided due to employee-employer relationship. Okay. And if the value is up to 50,000 rupees, in that case, no GST will be applicable. जो भी हम लोग सीख रहे हैं, जो भी हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, that should be completely based on logics. Logic से बाहर जाकर के कोई बात करनी ही नहीं है इन 5 दिनों में. Will transaction between principal and agent be treated as supply or not? Suppose I am a principal and I am supplying any goods to my agent for further supply. In that case, whether GST will be applicable or not. Yes, GST will be applicable whenever there will be a transaction between principal and agent. मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ, I am supplying the goods to my agent without any consideration. In that case also government is going to decide the valuation as per the valuation rules. Okay, they have specific valuation rules, rule number 29 of CGST rules, and through that particular rule they will decide the value of that particular transaction. Hence we need to be very much careful while doing the audit, while filing the GSTR 9 or 9C return. We need to be very much careful if there will be any transaction between the principal and agent. In that case we need to check, sir, we need to check that प्रिंसिपल एंड एजेंट के बीच में जो ट्रांजेक्शन हो रहा है, वेदर देयर इज अ कंसीडरेशन और देयर इज अ टैक्सेबल वैल्यू, और उन्होंने उस पे जीएसटी पे किया है या फिर नहीं किया है. वी नीड टू कंफर्म बिकॉज वी नीड टू पे द टैक्स ऑन दैट. And if this is not for any consideration, or the agent, the principal is not going to get any amount at the time of supply, in that case departmental authority will decide the value of supply as per the valuation rule number 29 of the CGST rules. So we need to be very much careful for that as well. Question number 19. Mr. Rishabh is holding stock on behalf of Mr. Abhishek and sells the same in the market. What will be GST applicability in hands of Mr. Rishabh? Okay. So here in this specific situation, Mr. Abhishek is a principal. Mr. Rishabh is agent. Okay. And in that specific situation, suppose Mr. Abhishek has transferred a goods of 20 lakh rupees to Mr. Rishabh, और ऋषभ ने वहां पर वो गुड्स उसके स्टॉक में होल्ड किया है, दैट मींस स्टॉक में होल्ड किया है. In that case, when Mr. Rishabh will sell 5 lakh rupees goods in the market, 5 lakh rupees ka goods in the market, in that case GST will be applicable on that 5 lakh rupees. Okay. Whenever a particular agent is going to hold the stock on behalf of the principal, in that case, whenever that agent will supply the goods in the market, in that case GST will be applicable. GST will be applicable on the complete stock. Okay, GST will be applicable on the taxable value of the stock which is transferred in the market or which is supplied in the market. That is what is the concept in case of principal and agent. Next question. Mr. Rohit is providing business deals to Mr. Karthike and charging his commission. In that specific situation, what will be the implication of for GST for Mr. Rohit? Suppose Mr. Karthike is a principal. Okay. And Mr. Rohit is an agent. Mr. Karthike is a principal and Mr. Rohit is an agent. Okay. In that specific situation, there is one specific transaction. Suppose Rohit ने बोला, sir, Karthike, sir, 5 lakh rupees ka goods we need to transfer to Mr. Sachin. Okay. So in that case, Mr. Rohit is not handling any stock on behalf of Mr. Karthike. Rohit is just going to get the deals. Okay. That is this 5 lakh rupees goods we need to transfer to Mr. Sachin. And for that transaction, Mr. Rohit will get 15,000 rupees commission. In that case, whether GST will be applicable on that 5 lakh rupees or on that 15,000 rupees, that is my question. बहुत ही प्यारा सा क्वेश्चन है, just provide me the answer. यस श्रुति जी, जैसे जैसे हम लोग सेशन में आगे बढ़ेंगे, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली इन अवर टुमारो सेशन और इन अवर थर्ड डे, फोर्थ डे, फिफ्थ डे, विल डिस्कस द valuation related part, and when we'll discuss the valuation related part, we'll discuss on the applicability of the GST on the motor vehicles or on the particular intangible assets. Or also I am planning that on last day we'll take your question and answers. Okay. Yes, GST will be applicable on that 15,000 only when the agent will not handle or hold any stock on behalf of the principal. In that case, GST will be applicable on the commission part only. No GST will be applicable on the complete goods. So we have covered 20 questions and the 53rd GST Council meet. I suppose आज हम लोग इतना ही डिस्कस करेंगे. Will continue from tomorrow session. But अभी तक आप लोगों के पास में कोई भी डाउट हो, in that case, please put the same in the chat box, and I expect from everyone that whatever will be your feedback or whatever will be your reviews for our this concept that is Q&A based, you just need to provide the same in the chat box, and whatever will be your feedback for the question, you just need to provide in the chat box. Sir, in the last question, if there will be any transaction between principal and agent is just going to provide the deals to the principal, वो वहां पर कोई गुड्स होल्ड नहीं कर रहा है, वो बोल रहा है ये 5 लाख रुपए का गुड्स आपको सचिन को ट्रांसफर करना है, तो यहाँ पर कार्तिकेय गुड्स को ट्रांसफर करेगा. रोहित ने केवल यहाँ पर ट्रांजेक्शन दिया है कार्तिकेय, रोहित विल गेट 10,000 or 15,000 rupees as a commission. In that case, GST will only applicable on that commission part. GST will not be applicable on the complete value, that is 20 lakh or 5 lakh rupees. Is that okay, Suresh ji? Now I require feedback from everyone. Also, one information from my side that we have this complete Q&A book. Okay. We have this complete Q&A book. This is not a part of advertisement. This is just a information because we have prepared this book in last 6 months. Okay. कई सारे questions हम लोगों ने यहाँ पर लिए हैं और इस book को डिजाइन किया है. And for today only or most probably tomorrow afternoon tak we have one specific discount that is 25% off on this specific book. Okay. One is book, another is answer module. Okay. So if anyone wants to buy, then we'll share the link in the chat box. So you may buy that particular book. We have discount offer till today Okay. And I suppose every professional, every GST officer, GST department authority should have this particular book. If event is in the same state, in that case, no GST will be applicable, sir. Because in case of intra-state transactions between branch and head office, no GST will be applicable. Hemanji. So I suppose at last, whatever will be your valuable feedback, just provide the same in the chat box. I am expecting valuable feedback from each and everyone. Tomorrow we'll start the session sharp at 7 p.m. So please be on time. I expect that you all should be on time only. With this particular book, will provide you certain demo videos as well. Okay, so you may buy this particular book. We have 25% off for today and most probably tomorrow afternoon tak. So we have Choti C answer book as well for the answers, and we have around 300 questions completely based on practical examples. No section, completely based on practical examples only. So if anyone wants to buy, then please place the order as soon as possible so that you will get the benefit of 25% off. So thank you everyone. Yes, sir. Special economic zone. We have a specific chapter. We'll discuss on the specific discussion on the special economic zone that will be treated as zero rated supply, or what will be the applicability of GST, and what will be the refund related matters. Okay. I am also ready. If you have any further question, we may discuss on 5 days for question and answers. We may continue the session for one more day for your question and answers if you all will interested. You will get the particular book link over your WhatsApp number as well. Okay. I suppose you all should put the order as soon as possible because we have limited number of books. We have just 100 books for 25% off while offer. This is pre-launch offer. Already we have get orders for 70 books, so 30 orders remains. So this is not an advertisement, this is just a cost of this book. We just want that this book should be part of each and every professional life so that that person can handle each and every query very easily. Now, no more discussion on this book. Whatever will be your feedback for our today's session, just provide me in the chat box so that it will be the great appreciation for me. और इसी तरह से सेशंस को आप लोग ज्वाइन करते रहें. We'll provide you the link for this particular book. Yes, sir, we are working on that particular book because this is a demand of current scenario. We are working on that book and very soon we'll provide the same. Very soon we'll arrange the same in e-guide module. Okay, we are not working on physical book. This is our physical book for this year, last physical book, because physical book में really बहुत ज़्यादा efforts लगते हैं. So this is our last book for physical book for this particular year. We'll provide you the e-guide as well. Yes, definitely. And in this particular scenario, we have covered multiple question and answers related to litigation as well. Okay, we have total approx 21 chapters in this particular book, and each and every chapter we have covered in Q&A module. And with this course, with this particular book, will provide one show cause on sections as well, one chart on show cause on sections. Complete sections will also be covered. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you everyone for listening. I again request to buy this particular book, not for profit. This is just for your professional help. So the cost is 630 rupees only for today and for tomorrow for two modules. One is for question module, another is for answer module. We'll also provide demo video with this particular book. So thank you everyone for joining with us. We'll meet on tomorrow sharp at 7 p.m. So thank you everyone. Yes, we'll share the link over that your WhatsApp number regarding buying of book. So thank you everyone. Bye bye. Take care. We'll meet you soon. in our tomorrow session sharp at 7 p.m. और अगर आप अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी सेशन इस कोर्स से रिलेटेड कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन देना चाहते हैं, then please do the same so that that person can also avail the benefit of professional knowledge. Thank you everyone. Bye bye. Good night.